Hey everyone. So, we haven't really been posting like we wished when we initially started our like page. Um there has definitely been a lot that our family has gone through with living in Georgia, buying our home there, and then moving to New Jersey now, which is where we're living. And with my husband changing jobs in the military and everything, we were able to pick Jersey, and that was out of all the other places. And we picked Jersey because with our oldest being on the spectrum, being autistic, and the resources, there's so many resources for kids and their family here in Jersey. So we thought it was the best, we thought that this would have been the best move for our son to be able to have the support and help that he needs. But that was definitely not the case. We ended up moving in like on the 4th of January of last year into our house, our house on base. And we ended up looking at other schools and everything within the district and stuff. And it was the school district we picked, we thought was, after meeting them and, talking about our son's IEP and everything, we felt comfortable and confident that, that they were able to support and, provide the help that he would need. So he ended up, he was in kindergarten like half of last year, towards like the end of January last year. He was still in kindergarten, and he was only there for 2 weeks. Within those 2 weeks, he was being sent home within 2 hours every day, just about, because of him having a rough day or whatnot. And we talked to them and let them know, he's, transitions are very, very difficult for him. This is a big transition, from leaving the teachers that he absolutely adored and his friends. It was really hard on him. I mean, it would be hard on any child, even if they weren't on the spectrum. Just moving away in general is it's really hard. So, we let them know that, he was having a hard time at home too, which it was true, where we were on the time waiting for him to start seeing his psychiatrist, like seeing a psychiatrist in general. And but he first would have to see a neurologist, which was something different because he didn't have to do that last time. But the neurologist sent over the thing for him to see a psychiatrist, which he's been doing. And the psychiatrist ended up we had to start all over with his medication, see what would be best for him. And what ended up happening was that, they were set forward, not even then, after the 2 weeks, February came, and they put our son on home instruction. So he was basically homebound because of his behavior from the school district. And sorry if I just get flustered about this, because it's just, at that time he's 5. He's fixing to turn 6. He was still 5, and come around February, they started him on home instruction. He got a clearance because they said that he was not allowed to go back to school until he was cleared and deemed not a threat to the public at school. And so we did that. We went and got the clearance that they told us, and the next thing you know, they said that he needed to, when we went through the whole crisis intervention stuff and everything, they even said it was part of his, it's part of his condition, he wasn't a threat or anything. And we already understood that. We already knew that. We already knew that, also him having ADHD, and that it's a little bit more tougher for him. So, we were, we got that. That was it. They were like, no, he's not coming back. And if you bring him back, then, we're going to end up, he's not allowed on the premises, in a sense. And I'm like, he's 5. So come around, he sees a psychiatrist, then we start the medications. We do, they wanted to immediately send him out of district. And I've just heard so many horror stories about the school district that we were at, when it came to children that were being sent off, that it was hard to bring them back in district. And I was just like, this isn't fair, he just started the school. He's going through so many changes right now. You guys aren't really giving our son a fair chance. So, we were like, we put our foot down. We're like, no, this doesn't seem right. There's we were just kind of like, how out of all the time that he's been in early Head Start and, had pre-K and all that in kinder, yeah, there were some behavior issues, but there wasn't before we knew about the ADHD and stuff. So, what ended up happening was that we went and we did the assessment, because they needed to do an assessment to see if by a psychiatrist that was school board certified. And so we went and we saw the psychiatrist. Within maybe not even 2 hours of being there, he was mostly focused on our younger kid. We let him know that he just started seeing a psychiatrist. He's started a low dose of ADHD medication and, went through all of these questions and everything regarding our son and stuff. And then, he was just like, he, said that his recommendation, because of the stuff that the school sent him, which was only within those 2 weeks, mind you guys, 2 weeks that he was there when he was a new kid. He ended up having, he recommended our son to go out of district. So, we were thrown off guard because that wasn't what we wanted. I mean, we've never had to, it's not what we wanted, but it's also you're only basing it on those 2 weeks, not on anything else regarding our child. So, our son's psychiatrist, she spoke with him, let him know regarding everything, because it was a couple of months already. He was on his ADHD medication and everything. And, he even was like, and I have all of these emails, mind you, regarding that the psychiatrist said that the assessment said, and then after he spoke to our son's psychiatrist, he was like, it's fair chance that, our son have a second chance going back to school. Well, apparently it was so much back and forth. It was ridiculous. We ended up having to go. My husband had to use his retirement money, get into that, and for us to pay for a special education lawyer regarding this whole thing and an advocate. And we had to file, complaints to the state, Board of Education regarding all of this. And, when we did all of that, we found out that they weren't following the initial IEP that was sent over from Georgia. They were picking from that and said that some things were not weren't sufficient for our son or whatnot. Like, didn't need to be implicated for him, which was on there, literally said he needs to have a behavior plan. They completely did not care about that, which to us is like, if you guys followed that, then all of this could have been prevented. And it wasn't the case. So, what ended up happening was that, our son is still homebound. We have been fighting back and forth with the school district, gone through mediations and everything. They used things that occurred in our home, not during home instruction time, mind you, against our child, which I feel like is very wrong for them to have done because of the triggers that ended up occurring, which was his kindergarten teacher. And so, he started first grade with being homebound, being under home instruction. I had to start working full time and, working 12 plus hour shifts on my days off. I take our kids to their therapies, and everything. And then I come back home and, doing school. And then having to deal with, this whole school situation that didn't even have to happen. If only they followed the IEP that was set for it from the very beginning for our son. We've gone through so much emotional stages with our child because, he felt like he was just a problem. He felt like he was a bad kid, because of the ugly looks our son would get just once they heard his name. And it's like, he's only been here in 2 weeks and you guys have already labeled our child something, and I don't know what that would be, but just already giving him those ugly looks and stares at him. Like, he's a human being, he's a kid, he knows that for him, emotions like facial expressions, tones, things like that, that's what he looks for. So that way he can try to kind of read people. So such a bright kid. And it's not fair that he had to go through all of this and is still going through this. We are already at a year that he has been at home. And from him being able to socialize with kids and everything like that, getting a proper education, because, with me having to work and this home instruction stuff, the teacher can only come on the days that I have off because, we have, with us having to pay for a lawyer and, all of this stuff, that put our family in debt, guys. This is just crazy. I mean, he's 6 now, he's fixing to turn 7. We try to make the best of it for him. We reassure him that he's loved, and that this is gonna be, things are gonna be better for him. It's what happened before wasn't his fault. We reassure our child so much because he needs that reassurance, especially right now. It just really sucks because our family has gone through so much right now. I mean, not just that, but we were at the time trying to conceive because of my fertility things. And then we finally were pregnant, and 3 weeks ago, well, almost a month, I ended up losing our baby. Our baby didn't have a heartbeat when I had to do the first ultrasound. And then I had to have a procedure done 3 weeks ago. And yeah, it's been pretty tough now. For our family has for sure gone through a lot. But yeah, we have been through so much right now in such a short period. So our main focus right now is our child. I just wish that, we had the right intentions for our kid when we made the decision to move here to Jersey. And then for our family, they go through so much right now and continue to still go through so much. I mean, we settled in mediation just so that our child wouldn't be homebound for, if we continue to move forward. And the lawyers for the school district he was just so ugly and just a joke. And I'm just baffled at how he was targeting our son, because he is 6, guys. It was ridiculous. I was just like, it was very hard for me to hear and just see that they did not care whatsoever on what they were doing at all. What they have put our family through. It didn't matter to them. They ended up getting their way. We went ahead and were like, fine. Like you want our kid to be sent off. Okay. I mean, we just want what's best for our child. And if it's for our son to be able to socialize and just be a normal kid, to be honest, just be a normal kid, be able to have a proper education instead of 2 days out of the week. Like, while our family can be financially stable, at the same time, like, we have tried our best with everything, and it's just crazy how things have gone. I just keep hoping that things get better. And yeah, I mean, sorry, we haven't been posting. We haven't been, staying consistent or whatnot. I mean, we have definitely gone through so much right now, and YouTube hasn't been like our focus. It's been more so making sure that our child is, our kids are okay. Not just him, but our kids are okay. That they're settling, and this transition has been a little bit easier now. I guess we've gone through the rough part of the storm, and it's starting to like settle. So just trying to stay hopeful. I mean, that's all we can do. So, I mean, I just do hope that, education, like education wise, it becomes something that, you know, is known that everybody is supposed to have an equal, you know, right to a normal, like, proper education. Because, like, I feel like that's something that we should all want for our kids, is for our kids to be able to have that. And, you know, each time that, you know, I talk to somebody or whatnot, it's like they're just shocked, like, that our son this young is home and isn't in school. And when we tell them our story, it's crazy. It's hard to believe, and it is. And we are even shocked. I mean, our child, like, was always the one that would help the teachers, guys. Like, you know, the teachers, like, adored him. He would always help them, help the other kids in a special education class. And whenever I moved here and they were saying, like, all these horrible things, it's kind of like, whoa, hold on a minute. What's going on here? Because, I mean, there must have been something to have triggered our child for him to be able to behave like that. Because the only times that he is like that at home, too, or anything, is if something occurred. And I noticed the last day that he was in school last year, that how he was behaving and how the teacher was talking to him and everything. And so I can understand why my child was upset and he was screaming and tossing things, and how, like, what that teacher, how she was reacting to him. She was just feeding it on to him, and that's not okay. You need to understand that you have to be, yes, stern, and of course be safe, but at the same time you need to also realize that you are dealing with an autistic child who is still learning how to express his emotions, because he, of course, still has a speech impediment. He's verbal, but for him to be able to express how he feels is very difficult. It's for him. So that's where we had that problem a lot. And so far things have gotten a little easier. They've gotten a lot better with OT, speech, and, you know, everything else. And it's just crazy. And I never in a million years would have thought that I would be asking for help. But, you know, if you guys would like to share this, you know, video, and or share our GoFundMe page, that would be a blessing. And just, we would really appreciate it. Just in case we ever have to, you know, basically be our son's voice again. And I hope that that's not the case ever. But we never know. I mean, never in a million years would have thought I would have had to be advocating for our son and, you know, being his voice this early in his, you know, in his school journey. But that's pretty much our life update. I'm sorry, it's mostly rants, I guess. It's trying to keep everything mostly on what our family has been enduring during this year. But it's still continuing. I mean, we're still staying our heads up and staying positive on things, you know. making sure that things are okay, and just keep moving forward. That's all we can do. So I hope you guys have an amazing week, and yeah, I hope that next time I update anybody, it's with good news and an actual video with all my kids in. Right now they're sleeping, so don't want to wake them up. Well, mostly my youngest is sleeping, but our oldest is watching Lanky Box. He loves Lanky Box, so he's watching their videos. So, guys, bye.